As a middle-aged married man with a career, I've encountered a significant problem. My family is facing a crisis. It's becoming increasingly difficult for me to find a job, and I might not be able to support my wife and children anymore. This is not an exaggeration. Just this morning, my wife and I did the math. Both of us are working. I'm a freelancer, and she has a full-time job. But with no one to look after our child, who has to go to a summer daycare, the expenses are overwhelming. Every month, our household expenses, the cost of our child's education, and our mortgage are all very high. We have some savings, and I received a compensation of 100,000 yuan, but this money will run out quickly. I'm freelancing now because I can't find a regular job. My previous job used to pay 10,000 yuan a month, which is considered low, but now the same position offers only 3,000 to 5,000 yuan. As a construction engineer, many employers say they prefer young workers because they are easier to manage and demand lower wages. In the eyes of these employers, salary is more important than experience. This makes me feel very frustrated. So now my only option is to start my own business.
This man highlights the numerous challenges faced by middle-aged married men in today's society. He is struggling to find a job and support his family, and he feels the adverse effects of age discrimination in the job market. Many employers prefer younger workers who are seen as easier to manage and cheaper to employ. This situation has left him feeling very frustrated and confused. I might not be able to survive because I just lost my job. I recently completed my resignation procedures after working at the company for 5 years as the AI project leader. Today is my last day at work. Everyone says that 2024 will be tough, with companies laying off employees. And I couldn't escape unemployment either. This morning, I drove to work as usual and ordered lunch as usual. But in the afternoon, my boss suddenly called a meeting and announced that today would be our last day. Everyone was discussing their next steps. 2 of my male colleagues, who are in their 40s, are also struggling to find new jobs. I'm on the verge of turning 35, and another female colleague just got married and hasn't had children yet. It means everyone is finding it tough to secure new jobs. I immediately thought of my monthly fixed expenses: mortgage, car loans, utilities, food, credit card payments. My monthly expenses are around 25,000 yuan, not including unexpected medical bills. Living costs money every day, and without a source of income, I feel very anxious. This woman is facing immense pressure and despair after losing her job. Working for 5 years and leading important projects, losing her job was a sudden blow. The constant expenses, including mortgage, car loans, utilities, and credit card payments, make her extremely anxious without a steady income. As China's economy continues to decline, the wave of layoffs is spreading. Recently, news of layoffs at Chinese social media platform Xiaohongshu has garnered widespread attention, with several employees confirming the news. Reports suggest that Xiaohongshu is undergoing restructuring and layoffs, primarily targeting employees with performance ratings below 3.5, which constitutes about 30% of the workforce. According to Phoenix Technology, Xiaohongshu employees revealed that the layoffs are currently in the stage of locking recruitment quotas, HC, and the company is conducting internal personnel assessments. However, no official notice has been released yet, and employees are awaiting related emails. The reason behind these layoffs is that Xiaohongshu's new senior management is dissatisfied with the current human resource efficiency ratio. According to internal employees, the new management believes that Xiaohongshu's efficiency ratio is only half of that of Chinese e-commerce platform Pinduoduo. Therefore, they decided to optimize labor costs through layoffs. Recruitment industry insiders revealed that Xiaohongshu has strict age requirements for new hires. The original age limit was set at 35 years old, but now even candidates aged 32 may find it difficult to secure a position. For Xiaohongshu, if this adjustment is true, it can be considered an internal earthquake. In response, some netizens commented, "Such a company is caught in internal conflicts and won't last long." Another netizen said, "All companies are the same. I think the high urbanization rate is the main issue. Everyone is flocking to cities, which don't have enough job opportunities. Employers will definitely prefer younger candidates." Another opinion was, people over 32 are mostly married with children, so they can't focus entirely on their careers. They won't buy into empty promises, so employers don't want them. Some netizens joked, "So no one should get married. With no one to succeed them, companies won't need to hire anyone since there will be no one left." Analysts believe that the recent series of organizational adjustments at Xiaohongshu are driven by its commercial challenges and fluctuating valuation. Xiaohongshu's valuation decline could be linked to difficulties in e-commerce and community operations. On one hand, Xiaohongshu hopes to elevate user engagement metrics. On the other hand, Xiaohongshu aims to improve its revenue structure, which has heavily relied on advertising. It hopes to expand into live streaming e-commerce. However, the results have been disappointing. Besides the rumored structural adjustments, the 21st Century Business Herald reported that Xiaohongshu's self-operated e-commerce platforms, Welfare Society and Little Oasis, announced their closures last year. In September 2023, Xiaohongshu's Welfare Society published a farewell letter to users titled, "It's Goodbye, but also a Beginning," signifying the complete shutdown of Xiaohongshu's self-operated e-commerce platform. Welfare Society was established at the end of 2014. Additionally, Xiaohongshu's e-commerce platform Little Oasis also released a farewell letter stating that due to business adjustments, it officially closed on October 31st, 2023. Xiaohongshu, launched in 2013 by Xingying Information Technology Shanghai Company Limited, is a lifestyle sharing platform featuring content on consumer experiences and lifestyle tips. Over time, it evolved into a social and online shopping platform. In recent years, due to the need for commercial development, Xiaohongshu has undergone multiple internal management and personnel adjustments, with rumors of layoffs frequently emerging. In April 2022, Xiaohongshu issued a statement on a rumor debunking platform, explaining that starting in March, the company began its annual performance review and conducted normal personnel changes based on these evaluations. Approximately 200 employees, around 9% of total staff, were let go due to unsatisfactory performance, which did not reach the rumored scale of layoffs. Previously, NetEase Technology reported on the high turnover rate at Xiaohongshu. A former employee noted that the average tenure of employees is short, with many choosing to leave within 3 to 4 months of joining. Another departing employee mentioned that the average tenure is only about 6 months, and those who have been there for more than 2 years are considered veterans. This high turnover rate is attributed to frequent organizational restructuring and shifting strategic directions. A former employee described working at Xiaohongshu as follows: "Colleagues are friendly and helpful, but the workload is heavy and it's very tiring. It's like a group of people studying for exams together." This former employee added, "Most employees are under significant pressure. The atmosphere is somewhat suffocating. Voluntary resignations are often due to overtime and the bi-weekly schedule, but mainly because of the constant changes in business strategies and difficult interdepartmental communication." Despite these changes, Xiaohongshu is known in the recruitment industry for its competitive salaries, earning the nickname Little Bite Dance. At level R7, employees can receive company stock options. Based on Xiaohongshu's 2021 valuation of $20 billion, total compensation, including stock options, can easily exceed 1 million yuan annually, which is 1 to 2 times the market average. In the past year, Xiaohongshu aggressively recruited from ByteDance, Taobao, and other platforms. However, these new employees often struggled to adapt to Xiaohongshu's content-driven approach. An employee revealed that the commercialization team had a high turnover rate, with at least 10 R6 level or higher personnel leaving in 2023. Notably, the head of the commercialization channel department, who also managed advertising service providers, also recently left. Before the layoff news broke, Xiaohongshu's e-commerce operations department completed an organizational restructuring at the end of June. The e-commerce operations team transitioned from being managed by a single person to a multi-person team, with separate groups handling industry merchants, buyers, and key accounts. This restructuring followed the merger of the buyer operations and merchant operations teams within Xiaohongshu's e-commerce division. Previously independent, these two teams were merged under the former head of live streaming operations, Yin Shi. However, within less than a year of this merger, Xiaohongshu again adjusted the structure of the e-commerce operations department. An industry insider expressed to Langjinger News, "It's quite shocking. 2 months ago, Xiaohongshu had just merged the buyer operations and merchant operations into the e-commerce operations department, with Yin Shi in charge. This latest adjustment means a reduction in Yin Shi's management scope, and 2 months isn't enough to achieve significant results." This round of organizational adjustments occurred after the June 18th shopping festival, to which Xiaohongshu had devoted considerable resources and expectations. During this year's June 18th shopping festival, Xiaohongshu introduced a promotion of 50 yuan off every 300 yuan spent across stores, with additional coupon stacking. A ceramics goods seller previously told Lanjinger News that the subsidies from Xiaohongshu this year were comparable to those from Taobao. He believes that the current layoffs are related to the company's underwhelming commercial performance. He stated, "I think the main issue is that they didn't meet their expected targets." Another Xiaohongshu employee mentioned that the company is implementing measures to improve team efficiency. The employee said, for example, monitoring attendance. Xiaohongshu's official working hours are from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., but employees must be within the office gates for at least 8 hours. If their attendance ranks low, HR will have a conversation with them. As the internet industry rapidly develops, major platforms are competing for users and market share, causing the flow of new users to gradually slow. Xiaohongshu, a leader in the social e-commerce sector, is also facing the challenge of slower user growth. To remain competitive, it needs to find new growth avenues, which adds pressure to its operations. Data shows that it has completed 6 rounds of financing, accumulating over 6.3 billion yuan. Investors include Tencent Investment, Temasek, Alibaba, GGV Capital, Tencent, Genesis Capital, and Tiantu Capital. The last round of financing at the end of 2021 valued the company at $20 billion. However, in this year's Huren Global Unicorn Index 2024, the company's valuation has dropped to $137 million. A special researcher at the e-commerce research center of NetEase and founder of Bailian Consulting, Zhang Shuai, said that the financing represents the substantial value Xiaohongshu still holds, including user retention, its influence on e-commerce navigation, and advertising value. However, competition in the social e-commerce sector is intensifying, with both established players like Xiaohongshu and numerous new platforms entering the market. These platforms are market share through innovative business models and marketing strategies. Maintaining a leading position in this competitive environment is undoubtedly challenging for Xiaohongshu. It's not just Xiaohongshu that is laying off employees. Many companies across China are conducting large-scale layoffs. According to a South China Morning Post report on July 9th, major industries in China are experiencing widespread layoffs, with nearly all leading companies in these industries reducing staff and cutting salaries. The South China Morning Post reviewed the annual reports of 23 Chinese companies and found that 14 of them reduced their workforce in 2023, while others cut employee-related expenses to control costs. These companies span real estate, internet, automotive, and financial industries, including the top 5 by market value and 3 notable electric vehicle manufacturers. In the Chinese real estate sector, the top 5 companies by market value all saw a reduction in staff in 2023. Poly Real Estate, the largest developer by market value in China, laid off 16.3% of its workforce, equating to 11,000 people. Shanghai-based Greenland Holdings also reduced its staff by 14.5%, bringing its workforce down to nearly 60,000 by the end of 2023. Similarly, the internet industry, traditionally a major employer, has also been cutting costs. Alibaba laid off 12.8% of its employees in the 2023 fiscal year, about 20,000 people, compared to a 7% reduction in its previous fiscal year. According to Alibaba's annual report, last year marked the highest number of layoffs in a decade. In the past year, Tencent's workforce decreased by 2.8%, which is about 3,000 employees, and layoffs have continued. The first quarter of 2023, another 630 employees were laid off. Earlier this year, ByteDance, Xiaomi, JD.com, Kuaishou Technology, Didi Chuxing, Bilibili, and Weibo all announced layoff plans. In the financial industry, most leading companies are state-owned. Therefore, brokers and funds have mostly reduced salaries and benefits rather than conducting large-scale layoffs. According to a report by Autohome on July 9th, rumors are circulating that by the end of September, Polestar Technology will lay off about 30% of its workforce, shut down its Chengdu factory, and transfer production to its Chongqing factory and Geely's factory. The layoffs will mainly affect employees involved in production and supply at the Chengdu factory. Additionally, many employees at Polestar's Shanghai headquarters are either resigning or staying with the company, but those who remain have to transfer their social insurance and other benefits to Nanjing. On July 9th, Lanjinger News learned from sources close to Polestar that the layoff rumors are related to the headquarters relocation. According to the source, there's no 30% layoff. It's just that the headquarters is moving, and some employees don't want to relocate, so they choose to leave. The company will negotiate compensation for employees unwilling to move to Nanjing. Media reports also indicate that that Polestar Chinese headquarters is moving to Nanjing and the Chengdu factory has been shut down, with production transferred to the Chongqing factory and Geely's factory. This has led to layoffs of many employees responsible for production and supply. Phoenix Finance disclosed that Polestar might face delisting from the stock market. On July 2nd, Polestar released its unaudited preliminary financial and operational results for the first quarter of 2024. In Q1, Polestar's global sales were 7,221 units, a year-on-year decrease of 40%. Revenue for the quarter was $345.3 million, down 36% year-on-year, and net loss increased from $38 million to $206 million. The gross profit margin dropped from 4.3% to negative 8.9%. Public information shows that Polestar Technology is a joint venture between Xingji Meizhu Group and Polestar Automotive. Polestar Automotive was established in 2017 as a joint venture between Volvo Car Group and Zhejiang Geely Holding Group, and it currently has 2 R&D centers and 3 production bases worldwide. According to a report by Financial News on July 9th, GAC Honda, a joint venture between Honda and China's GAC Group, experienced its first large-scale layoffs in its 25-year history at the end of last year, affecting about 900 contract workers. In 2024, GAC Honda's layoff actions escalated, with a strategy focusing on voluntary resignations. Up to 19% of employees accepted the generous N+2 plus 1.8 compensation package, resulting in more than 2,300 voluntary departures. This move reflects the reality of Honda's declining sales in the Chinese market for 3 consecutive years. In May this year, Honda's sales and production in China fell by 41.3% and 53.7% respectively, compared to the same period last year, a significant drop from the peak sales year of 2020. Analysts indicate that multiple industries, including the internet, real estate, and automotive sectors, are undergoing large-scale layoffs, reflecting the industry's adjustments in response to economic conditions. They believe that with China's economic growth slowing down, companies face increased market competition and cost pressures. Layoffs can reduce labor costs and improve overall efficiency and profitability. However, while layoffs are a strategy for companies to cope with external and internal challenges, they often bring significant economic and psychological impacts on the individuals affected and society as a whole.